So as many of us know, when we're running radio control hobby trucks, whether it be 10th scale, 8th scale, 5th scale, any scale, you're always going to run into problems, especially when you're bashing and jumping. Now, this is my Losi LST XXL2. This is a gas-powered, you heard me right, gas and oil, gasoline, gas-powered monster truck, 4x4, of course. And while I was running it in my first tuning and running video per se, look at this. Can you see? Can you see anything wrong with the angle of the dangle there? I was in the middle of breaking in the engine. I thought when I ordered it, I asked them to break it in, and I think they ran a couple of tanks through it. But you actually need, like I mentioned, 8 tanks of fuel to run through this machine before the engine is broken in. And I've already been noticing during the tuning and the running video, which are all in the same one, we were seeing more power by the end. Now, elevation. I live in Alberta in Canada, and where I live in Alberta, I am far above sea level. So I was having some tuning issues with this engine. But as we kept running it, and just as I was getting it to start running awesome, I went over a jump and I hit it the wrong way and I fell down and snapped the inside steering spindle. So I had to order. It always takes some time to get here. Here is the actual piece that I broke. Dun, 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 dun. It's probably the wrong side. There we go. Okay, that's the right side. So as you can see, it's actually, when we get in there, you'll see that I actually snapped it off right there, which kind of killed my day and ended me breaking in the engine. I could say that from the way it was feeling, we're probably about 6 tanks of fuel in, just from the way it was starting to pick up power. And in fact, I was starting to get it to the point when we would pull trigger that it would start to catwalk just a little bit. And that means when it is broken in, this thing is going to be a speed demon. I hope. We'll have to put it to the test at the track and see what it does. But I figured instead of fixing it off camera, because folks always ask me to try to do this stuff on cam because it kind of helps them with their RCs, or it's just good to have company when you're working on your rigs. Flip on an RC adventure. So the front right tire, this is the one that needs to be done. I've never done this before. It looks like this is actually a beadlock system, or pardon me, not a beadlock system. The inside hub actually has a hub that comes off. So let me get the proper screwdriver. And a good look at the spindle. I think I'm really going to luck out here. I don't think it's going to be that challenging to do. Of course, whenever I say that, that's always a ticket to doomsday, where the end of my screwdriver breaks off in the screw. Okay, fairly snug in there, actually, this kingpin. Yeah, but not too bad. Take that one out, and then, of course, one on the bottom. Just kind of keeping this real time here. There you go. Keeping it real time as well as in the camera view is a bit of a challenge sometimes. And that came out fairly easily. So on the actual spindle, when it comes out to the end of the driveline itself, the axle stub, there is this whole mounting piece does have a drive pin that goes on the inside. It's this little silver dot right there. Now to remove this inside pin, there is a hex screw on the inside, 2.5 millimeter. If you back that off, check that out. I didn't even take it out all the way. I'm assuming that'll work. Yep, look at what's poking out the bottom. Dun, 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 done. Drive pin goes back into that area if you want, right? There is the hex screw that I just finished undoing. So I'm just going to do that up just a tad, just so I don't lose it. And then out comes the entire dog bone. Dun, dun, dun. With this dog bone, you just kind of push it out, unless it's seized. Mine hasn't seen any water yet, so so nothing is seized. It's just a little dusty, in which case I can clean it out. Now I am going to reuse these bearings that actually come with the spindle itself. All I have to do is carefully take it out. I'm going to check the bearings. If this is any maintenance that I'd be doing just as usual, I spin the bearing. Does it feel nice and flowing? You bet. Or does it feel, if there's any grit in there, I might want to repack or replace. You don't want to do all this work just to figure out that you have a bad bearing that you didn't replace when you could have, and it's ruined your day on the track, right? Because no one likes a seized bearing. It hurts everything in the drivetrain. So upon inspection, yeah, it's just this little piece that got damaged. I could use a smaller pair of grips, but I have this one, so why not? There we go. Back to the ball driver. I could use a different driver, but this one's just handy. It's what I have to use for you guys right now. I don't even have to take it out. I just have to slide the old one off. Now here's the new one. The new one is, make sure, because this will have a ball on it, right? It depends on where you're buying your pieces. This one was actually just parted out from Dollar Hobbies online, so no big deal. It's already built for me. I can replace the bearings that I just took out of the old one. These ones are basically brand new, so we're gonna slide them in. 1, 2, just like so. Then comes the dog bone and the output drive. There, feels nice and free flowing, nothing wrong there. And put it back into the diff cup, make sure it lines up, and come on, get her back into where she should be sitting. Perfect. I didn't have to force it, it was just because the part itself needed to be lined up properly. Ta-da! And then the kingpin. Now, yes, I could be using a drill to be drilling these down into place, but I am dealing with plastic. And when I'm dealing with plastic, I usually like to hand torque these screws, because you don't want to get your new part and then accidentally strip it out because your drill's not quite on the setting you thought it was. We've all been there. There's the other kingpin. So basically all I did was replace this plastic part. I saved the bearings, I saved the kingpin screws. The one I got online came with them, so I'll be able to reuse them at a later date or on a different model if I had to. Come on. And the bottom one is finito. Not too tight, just tight enough that it's flush with the top of the plastic. Now this one I already undid the bottom bolt. Come on. Looks like it wants me to unscrew it from the plastic, which is fine. Isn't that a hot looking truck? Red and white and black. And I love the accents on the chassis and these huge big bore shocks. It's pretty boss looking. Okay, now here is that ball cup. Do I want to replace it? I don't have to, but I will. Ask it to leave the end of the rod. There we go. And pop the new one into place. Channel locks are good for something like this because you have it adjustable, so that's at max pressure. And we'll just push it into place. So there, now it's in over the ball and the rod end looks fine. Now all I have to do is reconnect the drive pin, which we did earlier, by taking it off, lining it up with the output drive hole that's right there. And there we go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so what I'm finding I'm doing right now is because when I'm sliding it on, it's kind of backing in, so I'm pushing it forward, and there we go. And it goes in. Make sure, this is the important part, you don't forget to retighten the inside hex screw, or else you're going to lose your drive pin, and that will also end your day. Da-da-da. Going to get this just to tighten it up. Change my channel locks just a bit. Yep. Good. Nothing too crazy. Broken part out of the way. Remount the tire. I'm just making sure on the inside that the hex part is lined up with the inside hex adapter on the wheel. I'm just kind of feeling my way around. And I gotta get it. And look, there we go. Done. Let's back the camera up. Just flip it around onto the side. I still have to put on the wheel nut. Start by hand threading it. That's how I'll do it. Yeah, good. Wrench, 17 millimeter, just twisting it into spot. And of course, just torquing it. Remember, always check your wheel nuts after you go out for a bash, because all that vibration and everything is going to cause those wheel nuts to start moving around. Back goes on the hubcap, which is awesome. I love this idea, and the reason I love the idea, even though it's not a new idea, is that if you do lose your wheel nut, and if it does come undone, at least it's caught behind the actual hubcap. And time to do up the bolts. Alright, so I replaced the broken spindle. It was right there where the steering control basically snapped off. And really, it was my fault. I was abusing the truck, and if I was jumping it in full scale, it would have been jumping it hundreds of feet. But this is all repaired. Now I'm good to take it back out again, which I'm looking forward to, because I want to keep breaking that engine in. Yes, I know, shame on me. I have a very dirty truck. Well, some of you are laughing because that barely looks dirty. But for me, everything's all dusty, you can see that. I haven't changed it or cleaned it since we actually did the break-in video. Here, let's get a better angle. Ta-da! Like I said, I haven't changed it since the break-in video. And really, everything is still tight. I was having problems with it breaking out or stopping the engine when I was actually landing fairly hard off of a jump. I'm pretty sure that has to do with AVC, which is the active vehicle control. I have heard rumors that when you hit too hard, it actually shuts off the spark to the coil here. So I'm going to have to investigate that a little bit more. Plus, I want to order some new filters in. Where I live, it's very dirty and sucks up the dirt quite a bit. But I'll tell you what, I had a blast driving it that day. I'm going to have some more fun driving with it in the future. People ask me, why is it squat so much? Like, why is it so low? And basically the reason why is it does have a lot of flex to it, right? Plus, when you're going around the corners, you want a lower truck. The higher center of gravity, the more likely it is to tip, right? But with the AVC technology that's in here, it's much harder to flip. In fact, while I was running it, I didn't flip it at all with a sharp turn. So these are adjustable shocks. For me, I'm actually just going to drive it for a while the way it is, and I'll adjust it as I go. But there you go, my friends. A quick spindle repair on the Losi LST XXL2. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more, click subscribe. If you are subscribed, see you next time.